Hello, homeschool families and those who are thinking about homeschooling in 2021. I am Marlia Breon Hall, your favorite accountability coach. I am simply holding you accountable to becoming everything that you were created to be. And right now in this season, this is you becoming the best homeschool slash full-time parent slash working parent slash all the different slashes that you have going on right now that your children are learning from home. I want to say thank you so very much for taking the time to watch this video. I just want to simply share with you some things that I've learned over my 3 years of homeschooling. I started homeschooling my children in 2017. I left my job to pursue my dreams of becoming an entrepreneur as well as an author, and decided to take my children out of school and homeschool them so that we can all just do this thing and be close and pursue our dreams and just be intentional with these days in these years that we have while our children are youth. I think it's interesting now everyone is at home. Well, the majority of families are at home, and back years ago it was like the last thing anybody thought that they would do, and now everyone is forced to do it. So I just pray that God will just transition you and that this will be a very easy time for you and your family. And I just want to simply help you in your transition and share with you some things that I've learned. So the first thing I want to share with you, and these are things that we're going to review today, we're going to review the vision for what does homeschool look like for you? What does homeschool look like for your child or your grandchild or the person that you are taking care of during the day while their parent is elsewhere? What's the vision? The next thing that we're going to go through after the vision is finding out what the specific goals are for this 2021 year. Lastly, after going through our vision and our goals, we're going to discuss planning, and I'm going to share with you guys a lot of the tricks, a lot of the free resources, as well as just some hacks and things that I use to keep things going so that I can manage my homeschool, my husband, my business, and all the other things that I have going on. Ladies, I simply just want to hold you accountable to creating the best experience that you can for your family this school year. All right, so let's talk about the vision. When you thought about your child or the student that you're going to be educating this year, when you thought about them entering into school in 2021, you did not think that they were going to be at home with you, but they are there now. So I know your original vision was you were going to go to work or you were going to be doing these other things with your time, and now you're actually going to be at home with them. I want you to come up with a new vision. What does this year look like for you? If you can close your eyes and ask God to bless you with a crazy and amazing imagination, just simply figure it out. What does this look like? What type of experiences do I want to have? What type of energy do I want to cultivate? What are some things that I want to do or don't want to do? Like, what does that look like? Are you guys waking up at a certain time and sticking to a more structured schedule so that they can stay in those healthy habits for when they return back to school, or when maybe you want to continue in this and they just go off and be adults and they have to work and all those things? Do you want to stick with that? Do you see yourself being more of a traveling family, or a family that spends a lot of time outside, or a family that's only using computers, or a family that's using books and computers, or just books? Like, whatever that vision is, whatever you're desiring to cultivate. Is it going to be some more mommy and me time, or some more hands-on activities, or them pursuing their dreams? Whatever that vision is, I want you to get very clear about what you're desiring to cultivate so that we can fill in the gaps with our goals. Once you have your vision, and this is what you see for this year, between August and May, between September and June, whatever your time limit is, this is what I see coming for us. We need to figure out, how do we actually bring what we see to life? So we do that by planning goals. And I do this with my clients in my accountability coaching program as well as my group coaching program. We simply just set goals. So I want you to first think about the goals that you have in this environment. Like, I know I want us to wake up at a certain time. I know I want us to get dressed. I know that I see us cooking together and cleaning together and getting organized and more structure and pursuing all of our dreams. I feel like I see these things. Well, a couple of the specific goals that I have for us is to this. And I want you to just think about some goals that you have for your entire family unit, for everyone that's homeschooling, you and the children. What is the major goal? I want us to, be God-centered. I want us to be spend a certain amount of time outside, because my vision shows us being outside more than indoors this year. Or Um, I want to link up with other homeschooling families or whatever it is that you want to do. But I want you to just think of like everybody, the whole group. What are some things that we can do? We can make sure that we're going over more self discipline exercises or practicing more mindset meditations or whatever that is. I want you to just think about what is the goal as a family. As a family, these are the things that we're going to do. Okay. Now, after you figure out what you actually want to do as a family unit, I want you to choose every child that you have, select each child, and spend some time and give that child your attention. And I'm not saying you need to call them right now, like, let me see you, because Marlia said I need to figure out some goals for you. But I just want you to think about them. You know, where are some areas of strength in their life that you want to continue to work on and make stronger and capitalize on so that they can use that to be the successful human beings that they're growing up to be? But also, I want you to pay attention to and monitor their weaknesses. Like, what are some things? Or do they have some writing weaknesses or some weaknesses, or maybe in math they're just not as good or as proficient as they could be now that they have more individual time versus being in a class of 26 students. But I want you to think about, what are your specific goals? I know I want this child to work on his temper, and I want her to work on her mouth and talking all day. I also want him to really excel in math because I know it's in him, but his confidence is where it needs to be, and her and him, and just figure it out. Go through every single child and say, these are the goals. This is what I really desire to do with them. This is where I want to see them stronger, you know? So whatever those goals are, I just want you to write them down. And I probably should say that in the beginning. Please take as many notes as possible because I do believe that these resources and these tips will help you to have a successful year. So you want to go with goals. My family sets goals. I set goals for my whole family. I know exactly what I'm desiring to cultivate, the family environment that I want to have, the God-centered environment that I want to have. I also have some business things sprinkled in there, some mindset things sprinkled in there, you know, and of course, just basically going through the standards of what Ohio requires. I want a little bit of everything so that my children are well-rounded. I have a goal for us to know more about our history. So we do Black History every single week. We don't do it 1 month out of the year. I told our children have already learned that Black History is all year long because Black History is our history. So we learn about that every week. We do it in art all the time. We're doing music and entrepreneurship and purpose building and all those things all of the time, because that's the environment. Those are the kids I want to have. That's the type of family I want to have. But specifically, I know that this child needs to work on subtraction, and this child needs to work on writing, and this child needs to work on spelling, or whatever it is. That's what we're getting to these goals. So we've figured out our vision. We also figured out what our goals are for the entire family unit. And now you just decided that she needs this. I want to focus on this for him, and I want to do this for her. Next, I want you to actually ask your child, get your child involved. I'm really big on hearing what our kids have to say because our kids have a lot of things to say. Our children know what they desire. Our children know what they like. And I just like to be able to facilitate that and encourage that. So what are some things that your children have as goals? Do they want to perfect their art skills this year? Maybe they want to start public speaking and they know that they need to start just practicing, or maybe it's an instrument that they want to pick up or learn, or an extracurricular activity. But whatever it is, let's support that. Let's hear about that, and let's figure out how we can get that scheduled in, how we can get their goals scheduled and placed on the schedule. Speaking of schedule, ladies, now that we know what we want to happen overall for the family, what's the vision that we see for this year, what our goals are for our children, as well as what their goals are for themselves, we simply need to figure out what materials support that. Now, if you're not doing traditional homeschooling like I am, you are most likely doing something that's attached to a public school, and they're already telling you what they want your children to need, and that's great. They're providing you what your state standards are. But outside of your state standards, you might have some goals like I had shared with public speaking, or you might have a child that wants to write a book, or just learn more about something like robotics and engineering, and something that isn't actually that isn't outlined in the state standards that you have. So those are things where you want to go out now and search for curriculum, search for videos online, search for courses, search for educators that are talking about this subject, so that that goal for this year, that your child that really wants to learn this one subject, can be checked off because you went and you found the resources. Okay, so my children and I, we're constantly looking for resources. We're on Khan Academy learning about Pixar and how to create movies, and we're on YouTube learning about some young entrepreneurs who did something, and we're just all over the place. We're in the libraries. I love the libraries, guys. It's free for those of you who are on a budget this year. Please check out the online resources, check out your library. There are so many just great free resources. We're printing out stuff, books, paperwork, the whole thing from online for free, as well as going to the library. There's so many resources. Yes, we also buy books and we also buy materials because some things you just can't get for free, and that's an investment piece, which I always believe in: investing in your education, investing in your future. Like you're gonna put money in your belly to feel good for a moment eating your Chick-fil-A or your Chipotle or whatever your favorite pizza fix is, whatever, ice cream, I don't know. Let's invest that in our children. Let's invest that in coaching. Let's invest that in tutors and books and stuff that will really get us our end result, which is our goal fulfilled. After we have our goals and we have the books and curriculum, and I will actually be attaching to this video some resources for you all. I have schedules already pre-made, a standard schedule, because of course I don't know what everyone's work life is and how that works for everyone. But if you would like me to create something customizable, please do that. You can go to www.lovingmefreely.com/family resources. There will be a section there that you can download all of the videos, all the templates, as well as videos about homeschooling at that link. But there's also going to be a section that asks for customized schedules, and as well as just whatever, like if your child has issues with confidence, I will send you over the resources for confidence. If you know that you have a child that needs to take a nap during a certain time, but you have another child that has to be here while you're here in another part of the house, whatever that is, if you need me to plot that out for you, I can do that. So just go over to www.lovingmefreely.com/family resources, submit your information so that you can get all of the resources that I have for free. I got links, websites, schedules, templates for you guys to just use and start becoming this family that you desire to be, as well as a section just for you to just submit to me what it is that you want. What are your children's ages? What are their sexes? What are their strong suits? What are their weaknesses? Like, let me know those things so I can create custom things that maybe your teachers aren't teaching them, but you still want them to know. Does that make sense? So we have all the materials now. We looked on the website. We've downloaded things. We printed out Marlia's, or you don't even have to print it out, but we looked over Marlia's suggested resources, and we got everything. We got the school resources. We got things off Amazon, went to the store, whatever. Now we simply have to plot these things out on a daily basis, all right? And that is creating a schedule. Creating a schedule is so very important because it lets you know what time we're waking up, what time we're doing math, what time I'm going to be working, what time so-and-so is going to be napping, what time we're going to do art, what time they get a break, I get a break. It's good. It's all good for everyone when we have a schedule. Another benefit of having a schedule is not only are the things laid out for you at certain times, and it can hold you accountable to that, but having a schedule actually gives you a great reference point to go over what it is that you've done and what you haven't done. Because when you're just doing things all over the place, your mind is not going to remember it. It doesn't. So it's just great to have that reference point to say, you know what, on this day, around this time, or not even at this time, but on this day, I at least did this. And I don't always do things in detail with time. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to do Black history. I want to do a science project. I want to teach them how to cook something. I want to do something on mindset. I want to do something that involves math, but actually how to apply that math in real life. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about savings. Let's talk about these things. So that's just where I am. But it's really what works for you and your household. So I know if your children are already being provided for in a way where your teachers are sending everything and you literally just have to put them on a computer, that's great. But please make sure that you have a place where you're aware of everything that needs to be done, what the children are requiring of them, as well as what you might be requiring of them in that day. So structure is everything. What I'm going to do with you guys in just a moment is show you exactly how I plan out things and a couple of resources that I use. So I really want you guys to just wait and see those things, because I believe that what I've been doing for the past few years has been working for me, and it's been working for the women that have taken these things on. So I just want to share them with you. But before we do that, I do want to give you guys some specific tips about being at home with your child. If you're working at home, there's just a couple of things that I believe that can assist you, because y'all, we're all going to be underneath one roof together. I've been with my kids underneath one roof, making money, having them be quiet, going to teach, putting so-and-so to nap, feeding them, going back to work, teaching them again. I've been doing this thing for a few years. So here are a couple of things that I just want to share with you. And again, please take your notes. The first thing is just a tip for you guys. Please plan out your schedule. Like I had just said, that was actually my first tip, but please plan out your schedule. It's so important for us to just have structure and schedules. I have a printout that actually gives you the bullet points and the details for how to plan out a schedule. So if you can just again go to lovingmefreely.com/family resources, you will be able to download the actual details on how to plan out a schedule. That's one point. Set up a work zone is the second point, guys. That's a major tip. For me right now, I'm actually in our work zone. I'm in my dining room where we have a table where my 4 big kids all sit together, and then I bring my baby along and they do their work right here. We also have another work zone inside of our kitchen, and then there are areas inside of the room that they can also work if necessary. But we try to keep them out of the room because we want to just keep those spaces separately. So we plan out our schedule, guys. You need to create a workspace for your child. What table are they going to be at? Do you actually have a desk? Is there and like my husband and I both have offices in here, so they are welcome to go in our offices as long as we don't have any calls going on at that time, or we need to actually be doing physical work at our desk, because we are mobile. We can do a lot of stuff wherever we want, but it's nice to have that structure as well. So they love being in our office, especially because we got nice chairs that spin around. But designate a work area. It might be in the corner of the room. It might be in the corner of the living room. I want it to be a place where you can hear from them. They can hear from you. They know that they are not alone. But there is also enough distance, so if you need to be on a call for your job, that you can handle that call. Baby's right there. They know how to do that. All right. I believe it's also very important, this is the third tip, to make sure that you're communicating with everyone. You need to be communicating with your child, letting them know what is expected of them each and every day, whether it's their teacher's expectations or your expectation. This is what's going to be done today. Your lunch is at this time. I already have it prepared. You just got to put it in the microwave, or maybe you need to make it yourself, or whatever that is. Mommy's going to check in with you at this time. During this time, I kind of need you to be quiet. You're going to focus on this activity that does not actually involve mommy right now, that I fully believe that you can finish doing on your own. But if you do need me, just come to the door. Just put up the finger or just do a slight tap and I'll be with you. I promise, baby, in just a moment. Whatever that is, but communicate with everybody. Also, communicate with your teachers. Communicate with your teachers, anyone who is assisting you guys with any care plans, any tutors that you guys might have, other homeschool moms that are on this path with you. But just keep communicating. Let people know when you need help. Let people know when you don't understand. Let people know when you're, really confused or in need of guidance. Whatever it is, just communicate these things. I promise, when we let it out of our mouths, let the people know, whether they do something or not, it's really relieving for us not to just keep it in as a frustration or a source of confusion. Let's just process it. Let's get somebody else involved, and let's communicate with everyone. Another great thing that I suggest that you guys do is set alarms. For you guys that have a hard time with time management, like a lot of women who I work with, they have a hard time with time management. And I'll be honest, I had a hard time with time management. When I was working at my job and I was in the process of like getting better, but I didn't really get my schedule until after I got my coach and I started using accountability, and she got my time management together, that I was able to really get myself in order. But before, I used to be like, okay, I'm gonna get there, I'm running late, oh my goodness, I forgot this, last minute, all these things. So set alarms. Is there a certain time that you need to wake up? Does your child need to wake up? Does school need to start? Does school need to stop? Do you need to go on recess? Do they need to have maybe 20 minutes of a focused reading time, 20 minutes on math? Whatever that is, set your alarm so that you're not just going and, oh my goodness, I forgot that the chicken was cooking, and now everything is smoking and my kid is late for the class that was supposed to start 13 minutes ago, like the whole thing. Just set alarms. All right. And your alarm should coincide with the schedule that you created as well. I believe that it's good to have some type of quizzing system just to see if your children are actually learning the material. So if they read something, maybe you can ask them questions about it if you already know what the material is about, or maybe have them write a writing assignment if your teachers aren't already providing these things. But you just want to make sure every single day that while you're in the other room or in the corner with your headphones on, while they're doing something, that they're actually picking up on the things that they learn. If we're not checking in to figure out if they're picking up on the things or reviewing them with them later on that evening or the next day, there's a huge possibility that weeks and months go by and our babies aren't really getting what it is that they need. So it's just so important for you to just ask questions so that you can find out where they are. All right. The last thing, I want you guys to extend grace to yourselves as well as your children during this time. Be extremely flexible with the teachers and everyone that you're dealing with during this time, whether it's your bosses, co-workers, your children, the students that you're watching, whoever you're working with in this season. I need you to be very patient, flexible, and extend grace. Everyone is adjusting to all things coronavirus, and it really is an adjustment. And we just need to be patient with everyone's process. If you've already arrived and you feel like you got this thing, but somebody else is slacking, just do what you can to be understanding, be empathetic, and be the light that you can be, because nobody's going to get this thing right. In 2017, I thought I was losing my mind, and then in 2018, it was just like, all right, we're getting this. We got some order. I'm not crazy. And yeah. All right, so let's get to a couple of things that I started doing in 2017 and that I still do today to help me stay organized. All right. All right, so this was actually what I would call, and it's a very easy method, a dry erase board method, but this was a very simple schedule. I like very simple schedules sometimes for my children. I put things on dry erase board markers for them, for their benefit. It's a great visual aid for me, but I believe that it's a great way to get our children involved in their learning, as well as holding themselves accountable to their schedules and the things that they need to do. So this schedule was for my older two boys. This is my oldest son. He had the green marker that day. My younger son, right underneath him, had the black marker that day. And these were their two check boxes. We always just do it the first oldest, second oldest, third, like that. So in this order, but it doesn't always have to be in this order. We simply, when they woke up, they made their beds. They made sure that nothing was on their floor, because sometimes, I don't know what happens. I have them clean up at night, but then in the morning there still ends up being some socks or something. And I find, like, get your room all the way together. Make sure your closet's organized, whatever. And then come downstairs and eat breakfast. During breakfast time, they actually listen to Proverbs 28, and it reads to them on the phone so they can see the words and read it. They also read a proverb a day out of their Bibles as well later on when we actually do book work. But this is just for them to hear something and see something while they're relaxing. I always try to do something biblical, uplifting, encouraging. Is most likely the Bible itself or motivation or something like that in the morning. After that, they had a project for me that they needed to work on. They also learned about graphic design on Friday. Why it's so important, ladies, for us to really grasp the idea of our children being at home with us. That means that they can learn things that they might not have been able to learn while you were at work and your children were at school. My children are too young to have graphic design inside of a curriculum, but it's something that they're interested in. So we sure did get online. We got on the computer, we got on websites, and we found some resources so that they can learn those things. And they started some design projects. We did music on Friday as well as science on Friday. They are into, and I'm really big on supporting my kids' dreams. They're right now into stunting and like doing bike stunts and learning about, how not to get hurt while stunting. So we did that on Friday. We did some writing as well as some math. All right. So this is just very simple. So you might want to put out subjects. You might want to have activities like clean up bathroom. Like there's always every day they're going to do some type of cleaning up in my household. All right. Now this is something that is more so for the parent, but you can also have this for an older child or possibly a child that can just understand how to stay organized on something like this. But this is my actual notebook where I like to write what we're doing throughout the day, and I can do it right here on the time. So maybe this is a time for lunch, but this is also a time that I might go handle a phone call or, whatever. But I like to just have these times because it makes it easy for me. Sometimes if I don't want to structure it out like this and I just want to do check boxes for my own self, I literally take these things, I just write them down like a quick to-do list and then check them off. We did math, we did this, all right? Lastly, we have a words board right here. This word board is for words that my children ask me how to spell. If they forget how to spell it or they spell it wrong, it goes on the word board. So as of Friday, the words that were spelled incorrectly or they asked me how to spell was schedule, ready, associates, contact, affirmation. So on the word board, they're able to just look at that throughout the day. Hopefully, as they look at it, write it, practice it, by the end of that day, they will have known how to use it. Are you guys with me? Awesome. So let me show you guys some other things that have assisted me with just staying organized with my babies. Upstairs inside of my children's room, there is a very huge bookshelf that has a ton of books on it that I really, really love, and I'm so thankful to have. But that's where all our learning resources are. But I kind of need something that are like kind of quick and accessible for me when I'm on the main floor and not upstairs. So what I decided to do is just get some bins, and you can get bins and you can get resources and materials for a very affordable rate at places like the dollar store, Walmart, Target, Marks, and just places like that that have books, that have things that you can use, and you just go get it and put it in a bin. So here are some bins that I have, and I just have them right here in the corner for you guys to see. Okay, so as you can see, these are a couple of books that I just wanted to have on this floor. So I have science experiments I can do all year long. My baby Savannah is in the 6th grade. Jamari is in the 5th grade. Jameer's in the 4th grade. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. This is just an extra book. Jameer's in the 3rd grade, but he's taking 4th grade classes and lessons. And Aaliyah is in the 2nd grade. And then Andrew, his resources are still upstairs because I have just not brought his stuff down here yet. But anyways, these are just some books that I can grab some materials out of when I want to teach and I want a lesson plan. I found this little I Draw book just because all our kids really like to draw. So I put that in there. And look, something I found at Mark's. It's called Guess the Cover Word for Science and Social Studies. So we do a lot of fun activities out of here. Like we did living and non-living things last week, which was really, really fun. I also have just a pencil box in here just for them to use the dry erase board, as well as get some pencils just in case. They each have their own pencil pouches in their rooms and their buckets and stuff like that. But just in case you did not bring your things downstairs, you can get it from here. And I also have a couple calculators that I got from the store just in case they forget to bring their calculators out the room. They're already in school down here. Here are some quick ones. I have a lot of loose leaf paper inside of here that just something, if I just need them to have just some line paper or whatever it is, just go get your paper, guys. Let's open this up and we'll use this because I love just impromptu activities. So we keep that there. Every child, and we have 6 children, has a clipboard. And these clipboards just make it a lot easier to write things on. Let's just say we were doing an outside activity or just to keep reminders on whatever I need them to have a clipboard for. These are just here. Go grab your clipboard and go. I have a couple extra folders here, even though some of these are their folders. And then I think I have some like in the back that are just empty folders, notebooks for more paper, Manolitos, dry erase board. I found these though at the dollar store, a little type of reward system or something I'm thinking about incorporating this year for the first time. And we're gonna start putting up words. I have my index cards as a quick resource, some crayons, color pencils, and markers. And we have more of these things upstairs as well as in my office, but these are just quick resources that I wanna keep. I wanna keep, since we got our 2 younger babies that are living with us now, they are at the kindergarten and 2nd grade level, so I just wanna make sure that they're proficient in all these things. I have these quick, flashcards, but I also have division flashcards and phonics flashcards that I just need to take out of my office and put inside here as well, because my older 2 could always use just a refresher. So this is just some quick little things that I have right here that I can just grab really, really quickly when wanting to educate my children or put something together, so I don't actually have to go upstairs and, you know, pull out go through the bookshelf. So those are just the quick resources. And I love going through my bookshelf because we actually just organize it, but I have so many books. I think I have 3 different shelves that all have learning material outside of these. We got stuff on planets, we have stuff on the world, we have stuff on religion, we have so many things, but these are just the quick ones to make sure that we have the Ohio standards and all the things that all the other kids are doing, and then I bring down my entrepreneur and mindset and all of that type of stuff. So this is where we are, guys, as homeschoolers. All of us are just homeschooling and figuring this thing out together. It's my hope that these tips that I share, from the vision to setting your goals for your whole family unit, to setting individual goals, letting them set their own goals, and then finding the resources so that we can become the parents and the children and the family that we desire to be. Please get you a dry erase board. Take the tips that I share with creating a separate space and all those things, and really, really use these to change your life. So I have something even greater for you guys, and I hope that you do not forget. I am here to hold you accountable. I know that this is not an easy transition. Sometimes people just need a little bit more push. Sometimes moms just need some text messages every day, or me to create their schedule for them. I had a lot of women reach out when this first happened in March and April, like, Marlia, what we gonna do? And I'm still helping women. So I just want you to know that I'm here for you. Again, if you go to lovingmefreely.com/family resources, you can download all my free resources. And if you go to my website, www.marliabrian.com, you can also find out all the ways that I can help you and your family to get organized and thrive. It's my prayer that this will be an amazing year for you all and that you guys will succeed. All right, peace and blessings. Let me know how I can help you. Please select the link below. Get all the resources that you need. You will have a successful 2021 school year. Peace and blessings.